Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening Network. This is the episode number 125 of the Ask Julius Show. Exactly. And as you can tell, both Casey and I, we are super excited to be here. Casey, how are you?
Fantastic. Sending everybody our greetings from our heart, from our soul, and so much appreciation for everybody.
Absolutely. So much appreciation for everybody. And we are so excited to be here. As you know, this is the Awakening Network. And here we are every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, making sure that every single questions, those questions that you never dare to ask anybody, they are being asked. And Casey is actually channeling Julius and their group of entities. So that's why the show is called the Ask Julius Show. For those of you that have not seen the show or watched the show before, here every single Sunday. And obviously, if it's the 25th show, it means that we've been here for more than 2 years. And we indeed have been here for more than 3 years. And we have already a lot of questions on the chat. It's just amazing. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you, and we definitely love your loyalty. Let's do what I do every single week, which is I move myself to a different position so you guys can see Casey. And as soon as we start asking the questions, all the Julius and the group of entities starts answering those questions, and you can see the full screen with Casey Spear. The first question comes from Ashley. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Ashley is asking, recently the Prime Minister of Canada pledged allegiance and bowed to the King of England. It gave me a bad feeling that maybe Canada is not independent from British monarchy. Well, that's an easy one.
That's an easy one.
Can you? I apologize. Obviously, I should never say that. But
you're allowed to do that.
Can you speak to this? Absolutely, we can do that, Ashley.
You are correct. They are not individual from British monarchy, nor has the U.S. been. Okay, so that is an ongoing truth, an absolute ongoing truth. And the Earth ship is being revealed this is being revealed for everybody. Remember that you are watching a play itself out, and disclosure is taking place. Okay, so this is not new. This is the way it has always been. It's time for humanity and citizens around the globe to finally come to a full understanding of how their rulership has actually worked. And so taxes have always gone to England. This has all to do with global, rulership. And so it is a truth, and it has always been that way.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question from Delene. Las Vegas is being swarmed by mosquitoes, and a lot of people are allergic to the venom that they have. Can you tell me where the facility is that they are breathing them in?
No, they're dropping them in the atmosphere. So a lot of them are just coming in. They're dropping them. Okay. And they're a bioweapon. They're full of virus. This is kind of the cabal's plan against the next type of a virus that's going to be out. Of course, they'll gladly give you a vaccine against Zika virus, right? So that's, part of their plan. But yes, you are correct. They're a bioweapon. They've been manufactured. They aren't just releasing them, but they're dropping them as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question comes from an offline question from Emery. This one twists my mind, and I'd love to untwist it. When I sense intuitively or physically something that's to come or about someone, that's me creating it. Yes, since I'm source. Then there's a question mark. Yes, it feels like it's helping to guide me as well. How do I change it if it's not something I prefer when it feels the trajectory is inevitable?
Yeah, you change your vibration. So every thought possibility is riding on a vibrational current, Master. That's true. And every thought that you have and every way that you perceive that thought creates a vibrational current. And so if you don't change your vibration, and of course you don't change your thoughts, then it will manifest itself. It is what you are doing. You are manifesting your reality, okay? There is no time in a sense, and it's very difficult for you to understand this, as does most embodied beings who buy into the theory of linear time. You have snapshots in the moment of now. And so all you have to do is change your vibration. Usually when something that you get a vision on as a possibility, so make no mistake, it will play itself out. But whether it's this version of the fractalized version of you that's going to experience that, or another one, is still up to you. If something is displeasing to you, then it probably has fear attached to it, probably has limitation attached to it. It's something that you don't want. And so that is low vibration. So if you change your vibration into a higher state, reconfigure the possibility of that thought, or don't give it another thought, don't give it any energy whatsoever, and shift your vibration, then you will alter the outcome of the occurrence for you in this present moment.
Excellent. Thank you so much. By the way, speaking of fear and love, you probably are seeing at the top right corner of the screen, you're seeing this QR code. And that QR code is going to take you to a landing page. We already spoke about this last week, and we're going to be talking about this again, because we have a very, very, very special set of sessions called How to Change the Foundation of Your Relationship from Fear to Love. But we'll go back to those later on today. Meanwhile, please feel free to drop your questions. This is episode number 125 of the Ask Julius Show, because here at the Awakening Network, we are extremely, extremely, extremely excited to be able to expand the consciousness of humanity every single day. Again, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, another offline question from Marzina. Excuse me. Hello, what are the benefits of accessing or activating or utilizing Kundalini energy? How can we do that? Thank you.
Well, Kundalini energy is a quantum energy, Master, and it is remembrance. It is remembrance. That is a great way of describing it. It is a plasma form of an energy, or a quantum energy. And so it's directly related to enlightenment, or remembering yourself as the light, or as the all. It stores information. Basically, it's a powerhouse storage of your experiences in everything that you are doing to know yourself as source, but not in this singular occurrence, Master, but all infinite occurrences. So it's a powerhouse of information, because you are not singular. You are a fractal that is source. So any type of energy that you are all of it collectively. So it wouldn't be like your brain has a tendency to just store this lifetime or this singular occurrence as information in its low activity state that it's in right now. The more activity that it goes to, the broader the information of points of view that it can draw into its memory banks. But your Kundalini energy is collective experience of the all, and you are all of that. And it does an extraordinary thing to bring you into alignment, to bring you into the possibilities of yourself. Kundalini energy is activated in a couple of different manners. Number one, in the moment of now. So when you are in full alignment of the moment and now, Kundalini energy can move. How much it moves is based on your level of consciousness, So if you are a higher level of consciousness being, it can move all the way up your spine, hit the back of your rear cerebellum, shoot through your midbrain and out your frontal cortex, and you can have an enlightened experience. If you are a low level of consciousness being, it can go about midway up, kind of maybe in your shoulder blades. It can provide a jolt of intuitiveness. It can provide some healing. It can provide some deja vu and some recall and some memory for you. Another form of release for Kundalini energy is joy, pure joy and bliss. So that enthusiastic, high frequency, love-based vibration can also move Kundalini. When you are a full enlightened being, Kundalini energy is always flowing, always activated, and this is how you can hold and become and know yourself as the all, because you are living in the full embodied experience of all of that access, of that knowing.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next question comes from Go Time. Thank you. Nice to see you, Go Time. Again, Julius, can you shed some light on the skin/pigment condition, vitiligo?
Yeah.
In between brackets, causes, recommendations, spiritual significance. I notice it runs in my family, and I'm curious as to your insights.
Yeah, it's activated through vaccines. So it's a vaccine injury is what it is. The vaccinations activate anything so it doesn't run in your family. Everything runs in your family. So as embodied beings, you have every DNA strand and you have every genetic code possibility running in the physical application of the body. And certain things get activated or certain things remain dormant. So it's not like you have it in your family any more than anybody else does. It just becomes activated in your family. And probably it's a byproduct of the vaccine reaction that runs in your family. That's what we will tell you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question comes from Rhonda Starlight, who, by the way, is in Bermuda, and she was saying hello from there. Is it possible to fix my genetic disorder, or was it given to me on purpose for a higher purpose?
Well, it wouldn't be given to you, but by anybody, by yourself, Master. You are source. So you are not given anything by anything outside of you. And your genetics are created through your thoughts, called epigenetics. So we would encourage you to study epigenetics and how to change your genetics with the way you think.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And the next question comes from Princesa Deluth 17. Julius, when you say you are source, do you mean that we are the main authority on this plane?
Absolutely. No. We would tell you you're the main, you are the energy of everything, Master, not just this plane. This plane is a hologram. It's not real. Okay? You are source. All of that energy, all of it. Okay? There isn't anything that isn't you. There isn't anything that you are not connected to. And there isn't anything that has an authority over anything else other than those who convince a disempowered being of the fact that they have authority over them. But that is a temporary delusional state of perception.
All right, fair enough. Let's go to the next question. It's actually an offline question from Marzina as well. We all now have AI assistant on our computers and phones. What's Julius' perspective on using it in the process of learning and creating? Thank you.
You're being tracked, you're being monitored, and you're being influenced, and your brains are being controlled. That's what we will tell you. That is not our opinion. That is our knowing.
All right, fair enough. Next question comes from Ashley. Nice to have you here again, Ashley. Thank you for being with us. There has been an influx of new people in my town with different values. They have been littering and stealing. Can you offer help to feel we are one when negative actions make it feel it's us versus them?
Yeah. So, first of all, we want to let you know that that is a frequency that's they're sending out to activate in people's brains. So you're all being affected by extremely negative frequencies right now. And they're basically bringing out the worst in everybody's behaviors. That is the truth. But here's the thing that feeds that differentiation and that division between people, and that is judgment. Judgment. You can speak and acknowledge a truth without judging that truth, Master. So even though you say somebody is a thief, that could be a truth because they steal things. If in fact you have proof, you can see that they've taken something, it's sitting in their garage, then they are a thief. But you could not judge that truth. In other words, you don't think that them being a thief is a bad thing. It just is. It's a byproduct of their character, of their morals, and their integrity. And it just is. So then you would act accordingly to protect the things that you have, and then surround everything with light and high frequency and continue on and know that you are well and safe, even if some things get taken away from you. But that will diffuse the energy of them harming you or other people in some way. If you judge them for that being a bad thing or them being bad people, you're actually feeding the fuel of the attack, and you will actually target yourself back by making that connection to that frequency, so you inadvertently could become a victim. So by keeping yourself from judging the situation, you can improve the situation energetically and not feed the fuel of judgment on a fear-based action. By assisting others to do the same thing, where we simply maneuver and act accordingly to the truth that they're thieves, by protecting ourselves, putting bubbles of light around and becoming aware, then you will generally help to diffuse the action as well, because thievery depends on ignorance. Ignorance, okay? So the more you speak of it and you get everyone aware, the less likely they're going to be able to get away with their thievery, because everybody's on the lookout. But to enhance that, try to talk to everybody about the fact that we don't need to judge that action. Doesn't mean we put up with that action. We will take steps to prevent the action. Then everybody put a big bubble of light around their home, around their possessions, around their children, their vehicles, and everything. The neighborhood itself, you can put a big bubble of light around it, and then quite possibly either they would be inspired to not behave in that manner or go elsewhere to behave in that manner. But frequency or energy, everything is energy, Master. Everything is energy. And you're either feeding energy to enhance the behavior of that energy, or you're starving it, And by judging it, being angry about it, you're feeding it, you're fueling it. So it's a great opportunity for you to practice the art of detachment while being aware. And if there are valuables inside of your house that are priceless to you, then get them out of your house and put them somewhere else. Okay? Because everything is replaceable. That is a truth. As far as your health and wellness and safety goes, that's your main protection. But if there are precious items, you might consider either extra security on them or to move them to another place and start to work on the frequency that's going on in your community.
All right. Thank you. That was quite an answer. The next question is from Karen Tackett. I heard that in some places technology is being released to bypass the protein blocker that prevents our teeth from regrowing.
Yeah.
Is this in line with the release of Medbeds and Nasara?
It will be taken, those things will be taken care of in the Medbeds. They can be taken care of in the Medbeds. So science across the globe has been conducting laboratory experiments to reactivate the enzymes that are naturally occurring in your body that fluoride killed. And by supplementing you with these enzymes, trying to reactivate this natural enzyme production that would always provide another row of teeth. So you're supposed to be constantly dropping teeth, okay, in your mouth. So You think that you only have 2 rows of teeth, but that's not true. You have a constant redrop of teeth in your fully organic nature. So they have both been working on an enzyme supplement to try to reactivate your enzymes to activate teeth growth. So they've been doing that, but it also is in the Medbed technology. The thing about the Medbed technology is they can accelerate that growth. Where with enzyme supplementation, it's a much longer process. And it becomes problematic in the enzyme supplementation because if you have artificial teeth, let's say you have implants or you have caps and you have, root canals and you have things, you have blockers, okay? So you've got artificial teeth in your mouth and those teeth can't come down through what you've got implanted or you've got constructed in your mouth. That becomes a problem, and nobody wants to remove all of that stuff and then literally be toothless while it takes several years for those new teeth to grow. So that's why they haven't released that, because even though they've had some success with it, they can't get it consistent, and the teeth don't grow evenly. So you might get one tooth over here and maybe not another one over here and things like that. Where the Medbed technology could provide that basically almost instantaneously, or really within about a 48-hour period. And that still becomes a complication, because what do you do in the meantime? Do you go to the dentist first, have everything removed, then go to the Medbed, right? So there's still a lot of things, that they're talking about. Now, the truth is they have the technology to take care of it, all of it, at the Medbed appointment, because everybody needs tooth regeneration. Everybody does, because everybody's enzymes have been blocked. Not only can your teeth restore themselves, but they also have a composite to them that is much stronger, okay? So we didn't mean to go on and on, but we just wanted to talk about those two things. They have caused your tooth decay. They have caused your tooth loss, mostly with fluoride, but also by other things that have killed that enzyme. They literally have created a dental industry demand, okay? And they hit the baby boomers very specifically. So everybody from, about the age of 65 to down to about 45, they're the ones that have all the implants in their mouth. All of the false teeth, all of the crowns, all of the caps, they're the ones. The ones older than that have their teeth. The ones younger than that hopefully haven't been subjected to all of that poisoning, because they finally have declared some of the fluoride extraction. But it's also the baby boomers that have suffered from the most pineal calcification as well, because of the fluoride and the enzyme blockers. So there's a lot to be done with the Medbeds that are far superior to just the enzyme study and research. But you also have to remember this thing, Master. Not everybody's going to be eager to jump in those Medbeds. People are going to be very afraid of them, and with good reason. The medical industry has been nothing but a lie. It's done nothing but kill people and poison people. Whether you believe that to be true or not, it is true. It is true. And so now, quote unquote, med beds are going to have a very subjective, suspicious connotation to them. Of course they will. They should not be called med beds. They should be called healing devices or healing beds or regeneration beds. Medical needs to be eradicated from your vocabulary, because it is the practice of poisoning and killing. So there's a whole lot of interesting stuff going on. There will be progression with things, of course. They have the Medbed, the quote unquote Medbed technology, and they have technology far beyond the beds that you lie on. Like we spoke about before, handheld devices, and at some point, everybody will have a portal, a healing portal device that is like a Stargate like a doorway that you literally can just stand in your home, in the homes of the future, and do a regeneration for yourself.
Wow. 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 If you follow this explanation from Julius, it was really, really in depth. Thank you so much, because we have all those questions. Again, as I always say, we believe that all the questions have already been asked, not at all. And that was a very profound response. And, we are 26 minutes into our show today, so it's time to actually take our phones, open the camera app, and point it at the QR code at the top right corner of the screen. And if you guys do that, guess what? It's going to take you here, because this is exactly the special for this week. How to change the foundation of your relationship from fear to love. As you know, last week also we put and we publicized this special for you. Let me make sure that we have the largest screen possible here. So could you please explain, everybody, because this mind-blowing class will be the provider of how to shift all relationship in your life from limitation to expansion. What about love-based relationships? What if you have been thinking you have love, but really you have attachments and needs? Oh my goodness, that's a great question. All right, so let's talk about this 3-part online workshop on Zoom that's going to happen on October 22nd. I guess this has been updated, right?
Right. Yeah. So we did this class. This is actually a last opportunity to grab this class.
Okay.
A special introduction price. We just finished it up this last week, but it is so action packed with information that we really felt it's extremely necessary for people right now. It just seems like in the last few years, with all of the energetic shifting that has taken place, there has been an upheaval on people's relationships. There's been an upheaval in marriage, divorce situations, in betrayal situations, lots of revealment going on, lots of destabilization that seems to have occurred. It's, again, one of those byproducts of the negative frequencies that they send out, and the timeline fluctuations and shifts and changes. Seems to be that there's a lot of cancer in health-wise that has erupted in people. So we've been trying to address that with some of our healing packages. And the other thing that we wanted to address was the relationships. Some people are just feeling like the relationships can't survive nowadays. Like, are there relationships that can change and shift and expand? Are there any relationships that do start with the foundation of love? And most of them start with fear and attachments and needs. But are they doomed? Are they, just unquestionably doomed? Or are there ways where you can learn to shift this? Well, of course, Julius is going to provide that optimistic forum for everybody and encourage everybody not only that they can do it, but how to do it. So this falls into, we think, a very relevant application for everybody's lives. And this isn't just about marriage and partnership. It can be related, of course, to any of the different types of relationships in your lives. We come here to this earth to have relationships, among other things. We learn so much about ourselves through our relationships. Relationships from soul to soul are designed to help us know ourselves, that we are source, help us unleash our empowerment. But when they're constantly entangled in fear, they're drugged down, and they lead to self-dismissiveness, self-loathing, anger, resentment, and sometimes even the desire or the choosing to shut all relationships down and live a very isolated existence, which won't get you fully as much into the self-awareness state as when you are reflective in relationship ongoing interaction. So this is a very, very, very relevant course for everybody. If you think your relationships are great and thriving, good for you. Take this course to help somebody else, because we'll guarantee that there's people in your life that are struggling. and they may be looking for a lifeline, somebody to have a conversation with. And this can actually help provide you with some information that could be vital to the resolve of somebody's relationship situation.
All right. Thank you so much. Just to make sure, so everybody that is interested in this specific session, the best thing that they can do is maybe send an email to support at channelingjulius.com.
Yes, of course. And Sue, JC, our support team is there to answer any of your questions. They're always there to support everybody, and feel free to communicate, and they will communicate back with you almost immediately or within just a few hours. So never hesitate to send a question into support at channelingjulius.com.
Okay, wonderful. Fair enough. Next question comes from Ceylon Aralaya. Can a twin soul, with the approval of their council for completion of a planetary mission, embody it with their incarnated counterpart?
So, Master, your theory is based on separateness. And in ultimate truth, there is no separate. There's separateness. There are no singular souls. There are no twin flames. There are no twin souls, because that would be an indication that souls are separate from each other. It is a low consciousness perspective. You are a fractal of the same thought, of one singular thought, playing itself out in a vibrational variation in order to expand itself infinitely into possibilities. Okay? Every single soul that you interact with is the opportunity for expansion for you. There isn't any one soul that is more relevant than another. That is a romanticized, disillusionary truth. Having said that, if you believe that's true, you will live within the confines of that reality and give priority and value to one soul over another. And that's too bad, because that's you judging yourself, Master, since you are all soul energy.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question from Hilda B. Nice to see you back, Hilda. What is the difference between greed and knowing and living infinite abundance, including the enjoyment of luxury material items? How to assure we do not fall into greed?
So greed is an unsatisfactory state, okay? Greed means you are never satisfied. So greed is non-appreciation, non-satisfaction. It is a byproduct of lack of compassion, okay? If you are a compassionate soul, you will not be greedy. If you are a non-compassionate soul, you will be prone to greed. That's how that works. It has nothing to do with the amount of anything that you have. All that does is showcase what already is there. You are either greedy or you aren't. Greed does not just show up in money. It shows up in every other area of your life as well. So whether you have a lot of money or little money doesn't bring the greed, doesn't suddenly create greed in somebody. It just gives them another forum to showcase their greeded state of consciousness. So please get out of your head that money is bad in any way, because it's not. That is a program that the elite have programmed you with to make you afraid of being wealthy. Let that go. Everybody is entitled to every possibility that can be created on a realm and thrive and live abundantly with all opportunities and without fear, especially when a realm is governed by a form of commodity. You can guarantee that there's enough of it in abundance for everyone. And if you think there isn't, it's just because you've been programmed to believe that. Okay? So stop thinking that in any way, shape, or form that you could not experience the most fantastical state of abundance far beyond your wildest dreams, and live in the experience of that fully, joyously, with satisfaction and with appreciation and high vibration. Okay? So that is a level and a state of consciousness whether you either have compassion or you don't, is what will either activate or demonstrate greed or appreciation. Appreciation is compassion, soul alignment, and awareness, and greed is the absence of that.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Please remember, there's a QR code at the top right corner of the screen from Fear to Love. We just told you about this incredible session we had last week, a series of sessions last week, how to change the foundation of your relationship from fear to love. And it was so incredible, as Greg Nyman was saying, that we're offering it again, as it couldn't be otherwise. And now a question from Sony Dean. Great to see you again. Hello, beautiful souls. Happy to be with you. Julius, I heard I worked with the dragons in ancient times. Look at that. I'm curious to know what kind of work we did together. Thank you.
Oh, well, first of all, we want to tell you you're doing that. So that's not ancient times. That is something you are doing concurrently in other timelines and other lifetimes. And when you work with enchanted creatures, you are working to bridge the gap between dimensions and through conscious separation with different species and creatures. So you are working in a beautiful way. So this gets really interesting. Everybody ready for this? Okay. So telekinesis and intuitiveness obviously is not about specific or isolated species being able to communicate or align that way. But many people think it is. And so when they're coming into their intuitiveness, or when they're coming into telekinesis, moving things, cooperation and collaboration with all of the energy fractals that you are, they'll still isolate themselves to work in specific species specifications. How about that? How should I say that really fast? 3 times, okay? But when you work and you collaborate, you are meeting of the minds, okay? Because any type of a species that you have collaboration with that doesn't have the same form of communication skills verbally as you, there's a thought connection and there's an intuitive connection. And so you are working in collaboration with the souls, not the costumes that are being worn, and you are demonstrating basically to the earth or to whatever civilization that you're working with there of how extraordinary thought energy works, and also to help make it understandable that all thought is, and that we do not have a separations from our thoughts and our emotions. We only have a differentiation in our costume. So it's a great teaching of high consciousness, unity consciousness, cooperation, collaboration, honor, integrity, and truth and high vibration. Thank you for your work.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question is actually, 1 second. Yeah, it's an offline question, and it comes from Marzina. We all know. Hold on. 1 second. We already asked this one. Excuse me. Love Light Lauren, why are dark entities attracted to light workers? Can you remind me? Thank you.
Yeah, of course, because they want to siphon your energy. Basically, in a nutshell, you're a battery source for them. There is no question about that. They want what you are, and they thrive on it. Okay, and think of Imhotep in the movie The Mummy, right, where he just goes in and sucks the life force off of people and it regenerates him. They're basically disclosing something to you. So that's exactly how that works. Exactly how that works. So it's a siphon. You are a supply. That's why it's referred to as you being, as empaths, being a supply to narcissists or dark energies. Your energy supply to them. And when they siphon enough energy off of you to get you below a certain point of value, you'll get discarded and they'll pick up on one of their other supplies. But the truth is they're always working several siphons. So whether you're talking about an actual entity, dark entity spirit, or if you're trying to give us code for narcissists and empaths, it's exactly the same application. They feed off of the light. They feed off of the light because fear has a limitation or an end to it, and love is unlimited, never ending, and infinite. And they want the ongoing state of themselves. Plus, our answers are long tonight. Plus, they actually want to be the light. They want to be higher vibration. And so there's an attachment that is occurring, and they're hoping that if they attach themselves to you, that they will become a better person or a high vibration via osmosis, okay? Or via, just being next to you. But of course, it does not work that way. They refuse to do the work that an empath does to raise their frequency and become the light. So they're just leeches. They're just leeches. And they just leech all over the place. Consider yourself extremely blessed when you break free of that barnacle that is literally sucking the life out of you.
Wow. Incredible. Thank you so much. And the next question comes from Daleen again. Thank you, of course. I would love to know how to counteract the poison or stop them from biting us.
Okay, yeah. So they're actually attracted to sugar. Okay, so they're mostly attracted to sugar. So, and everybody has so much sugar in their intake, it's unbelievable. All you have to do is do a deep dive into the foods that you are consuming. It's the truth. They're attracted to sugar, and sugar is added to almost everything that you eat. It's added to your meats. It's added to your dairy. It's added to potato chips. It's just added. Okay. It's also a super high percentage of highly processed foods. So all of your convenient foods, your cookies, your crackers, your ramens, your super high processed foods, your premixes on things, your frozen things, highly processed foods are up to 1/3% sugar. So that's what those little creatures are all about. You can do a sugar detox. You could actually do a parasite detox, and it will help eliminate a lot of the parasites that are living in your system, living off of sugar and secreting sugar back into your system. They're like little sugar production mills. So you want to get those parasites out of your body, do a sugar and a parasite detox, and then, Master, quite frankly, mindfully do whatever you can to reduce your sugar intake. It doesn't mean you can't satisfy the need for sweetness in some natural sweet components, but try to eliminate your highly processed foods and try to reduce as much sugar as you possibly can, and it will greatly assist you. Now, also, you could increase your good oils, your olive oils, your avocado oils, coconut oils in your body, okay? So your natural oils will actually help as blockers and skin protectants against them biting you, not only coming from the inside, but you can actually apply them to the outside of your body as well. Tea tree oils can also be put on the body, so you can do all kinds of natural repellents, okay? But you need to take in more good oils, not seed oils, and of course, garlic that nobody wants to eat because of the foul repellent aspect that will secrete back from your mouth. But believe it or not, if you detox the parasites, the garlic won't be so repugnant in your body because it's thriving in the toxicities and the bile that are being secreted from the parasites. Woo! We hope you like that answer.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't? Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. Let's look for someone that still hasn't asked a question. Speaking of oils, what about Tara Star's question? Tara Star 369. Hi, is sesame seed oil good for the skin daily? Please and thank you.
No seed oils. No seed oils. Don't use those seed oils. They're highly processed, Master. Highly processed. stick to your fruit oils, your avocado oils, your olive oils, castor oil. You can use castor oil for the body. So think about using those types of oils. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much. The next question is going to be from Sonia Lee. So nice to see you again. Can I ask, please, do you see the RV before the EBS?
No, it'll be simultaneously, but you're not going to have a complete blackdown or breakdown during the emergency broadcast. You're going to have spotty information, spotty blackouts. They're not going to shut down the whole system the way they initially had put information out. That's just too much fear mongering. They're already doing disclosure. They will increase disclosure. Okay. But the EBS system is not going to go to a blackout emergency bullhorn, go to the emergency system, try to get that out of your mind and get out of being worried about that. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And let's go to the next question from Turk Thornton. Whenever I see and hear whale sounds in the ocean, I instinctively start to talk to them as if I know them personally.
Perfect.
Just wanted to get your input. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, they're amazing.
We are all one. We are all one for sure.
Yeah. Not only that, but they're sending out all of their sonar is healing frequency. All of it is. So all of the mammals that live in the ocean are sending out healing frequencies across the earth. It's the truth. So you're actually being healed by these creatures. These are healing energies that you're getting hit with and beautifully respond. Speak light language to them. You speak light language together and you are all one. There is only one energy. There is only one unified consciousness. There is only one soul. But you also come from their planet. So their planet is Sirius, as you know, and you also come from that planet. You have been some of the whales and the mammals and the dolphins and what else you really, really love to do? You love to be a manatee. And so you are those creatures in other timelines, but you also have existed on the planet in your solar system of Sirius, which is where they originally come from. If you're talking about where embodiments originate, not in origin of everything, because everything is source. Everything down from there are different costume preferences, and you definitely prefer that costume, but it's all energy frequency healing. It's amazing. Not only healing energies, but brain activation. It literally helped to activate your brain. Any of you need to be healed from stuff, get in the ocean where these mammals live and thrive. Guaranteed that rejuvenation will occur for you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next question from Tommy. And Tommy's question is, what's going on when we have lucid dreams? I know there's no such thing as dreams. We are just out of body. But what does a dream inside of a dream mean? I don't know any other way to phrase this.
It's just an experience that you're a very intense experience that you're aware of in that moment, Master. You are correct. It is an out-of-body connective experience. You're just walked right into something else that you are doing. Think of it like peeking in, on a movie theater, while they're watching a movie, right? Do you ever go to Disney? The Disney parks, hopefully you don't anymore, but everybody used to go to the Disney parks and they would have the Muppet Theater, right? And the Muppets, would look in. That's a perfect depiction of some of the lucid dreaming where you're actually stepping into an ongoing state that you are having in another timeline and in another existence. What really gets interesting, Master, is when you run into yourself. And you can play with that one.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We keep on receiving so many questions, and unfortunately, we are so close to the end of the show, but it doesn't matter. As you know, we always keep all the questions, and we eventually ask all of them. I'm going to ask this question, offline question from Emery. Can you explain from your perspective the creation manifestation process in a way that makes it easy to understand and implement without any doubt or confusion? Thank you.
You are all thought. You are all thought. And everything materializes, goes into a 7 level or 7-degree process of vibrational variation to take something from a thought into physical form. Thought lowers its vibration through contemplation of a thought. So in other words, once you focus an energy on any particular thought, you have already started it into manifestation. From there, you feel the enthusiasm and the truth of that contemplated thought into a form of a demonstration of itself, launching it into light and slowing it into a vibration where particles of matter are formed. As you continue to add layers of details to aspect possibilities that bring you joy, you bring in texture and form. Okay, so everything is about taking a thought and focusing on that thought, feeling not only enthusiastic about that thought, master, but that it already is occurring, and then accepting that that is true. It is your action of acceptance that is the final phase of demonstration of that thought. Most people do not know that what they choose is. They hope that it will be. They have faith that it might be, and that's what staffs it off. It is the minute that you shift into the absolute aspect energy force, quantum force of creation, that you know that it is, that it becomes. So we hope you have fun playing with your knowing, Master.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And now the last question of today's show from Sonia Lee. Trump said military is helping with building ballroom. Is there more to this? Thank you.
So he is, your money is not being spent on that, if that's what you are thinking. Okay. He is using code language. Okay. And they're using the military to expose things that are going on. This is code language that he's using. Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And as I said before, that was the last question of today's show. Remember, if you want to know more about this week's special, please send an email to support@channeljulius.com, and our production team will be able to help you to get signed up and to really be coached by Julius and their group of entities, which is an incredible opportunity. Really, thank you so much for so many questions. We're going to be copying all those questions, so they are being asked in other shows, the ones that we were not able to answer today. Thank you for your loyalty. And obviously, as I always say, next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before that, Casey, what else could we say?
You know, what can we say except how much we love you? We love you and we appreciate you. And please, please be magnificent, be well, be safe, be loved, be thriving. Hold your energy in high vibration and projection. We wish you nothing but the most beautiful, joyous, and abundant life, right? Thanks, everybody, for joining us again.
Thank you so much. See you next week. Remember, next Sunday, I think it's going to be November already, if I'm not wrong. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you so much again for being with us today, as most of the comments are saying on the chat, and I'm sure that you can see them. Incredible show yet again. Exactly. Incredible show. Brand new questions. We never stop of being in awe, thanks to Julius answers and obviously Casey Spear channeling. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week. Bye-bye.